Heather reveals a unique personality.
Little confession.
Pete's attempts to tile drive everyone spare.
This is a simple rule for everyone. Don't stand on the tiles.
What's he going to do, vote for me?
And High Jinx on site sees Tina dump her man.
Off you go.
Hello, welcome to the show. Something very interesting is happening. Calvin and Heather, the quietest couple on site, are starting to break out of their shell. And you have to ask yourself the question, are they playing the game better than any other couple? You see, there are less than 5 weeks to go, and you'll find as each day passes, every couple will be bending over backwards to win your vote.
It's week 7 of the Hothouse. 14 couples started, but only 6 remain, and yesterday some moved caravans.
Change is as good as another.
This man's better than ours, mate. Don't go there.
So now everyone's living side by side on the south side of the park. New arrivals include Amy, who's in the wars.
Yeah, I got it a couple of days ago. So it's slowly going away.
What did you do?
Walking to the caravan.
She and her boyfriend Christian have moved into the caravan left by magician Matt and wife Sher.
The shower really smells, the toilet doesn't work, and the awning's broken. But apart from that, it's cool.
In the months since the previous tenants left, the caravans have fallen victim to lack of cleaning, savage storms, and no plumbing maintenance.
Give us an hour to move and we come on over and we've got mould in our fridge and beers that have been left there like Bow and Chewy and that are open and spilled through the floor.
You know, we don't have any hot water still. You know, the toilet wasn't working until this morning.
They've been busy tidying, but they've found enough spare time to ruffle some feathers in their new neighbourhood with this welcome sign.
Well, we're just trying to make it as funny and friendly in our little environment as we can.
I say we never disrespect anyone like that.
No, we don't disrespect anybody. Oh, hobbits from a movie. That's enough. We just don't want angry little hobbits here, and, you know, and they're very negative and they've got nothing good to say in this world at the moment.
Noble Bible bashers or junk mail over there, I find that offensive to people who are religious. Now, they've been having a go at me because they think I'm offensive and I don't respect people. That's not respect right there. Or angry little hobbits. Okay, well that's obviously, to me, that's directed at me. But as anyone who's seen The Lord of the Rings, that's obviously where it's come from. They were very strong little people, mate. And I'd rather be a small little hobbit, mate, because they did win in the end, than rather than be a big, muscle-bound, no-brain Fabio. Go the hobbits, mate. Go the hobbits. I'll be a hobbit, I don't care.
But there's something that does trouble Pete. On Monday, he twisted his foot badly.
Oh, I'm not supposed to be going on the work site today.
He shouldn't have been doing anything on it yesterday, but he was moving heaps of stuff and lifting heaps
But
of
I've got elimination to get through, and it doesn't look good with me sitting back. I've got to pull my weight, and that's what I'm going to be doing.
So, foot or not, everyone's off to the job site. And it's day 2 with Daryl the tiler, who has a unique sense of humour.
Well, just the main thing today before we start, let's try and work a little bit cleaner than what we did yesterday. Just a bunch of grubs. Program for today, we'll carry on with the floor, split you into groups, some in here, we'll work into the kitchen. Christian and Amy will start the bathroom and WC over that side on the walls.
Tyler Daryl has special jobs for the 2 couples nominated for elimination this week, Pete and Tina and Christian and Amy.
No, look, no. When you finish snapping it, slide the arm up down the road.
Let's see how I go for my first try.
Move it in a bit, right, pressure. There you go. Now the other thing you've got to do, when you've got them all cut,
Yeah.
because when you cut your tile, you've got a sharp edge there, right?
Oh, okay.
This is where you stamp it a couple of times across, takes the sharpness off that.
Okay.
Now you count how many you want for the...
Yeah, at least a box.
You sure are?
Yeah.
How many do you need?
At least 50,000.
Yeah, talk about shit. Use the tape measure.
Pete's injured foot means he can't lift, so Daryl has put him on tile cutting duty.
Oh, I didn't see the last one, mate.
It seems Pete's lack of tile cutting prowess hasn't gone unnoticed.
Someone who actually knows how to cut the tiles to do it. Someone who did it yesterday, so we can save some time. We've got heaps to do. And Pete was playing basketball on his foot yesterday, so you can do just about anything really, mate. So it's just, it's bullshit.
Pete's taken off tile cutting duties, but he's in trouble again for committing the cardinal sin of the tiling world.
And how soon until you can walk on it?
Next day. I leave it overnight, walk on it the next day.
And these guys saw Pete walking on the freshly laid tiles.
Keep on. Just keep going. Just keep going.
How did you get around here?
It's going to be fine. Go down with the cameras, come on down. Just don't. Just a simple rule for everyone. Don't stand on the tiles.
Stand on.
It's just amazing that something like that happens and everyone can't even say sorry. Like,
What's he going to do, vote for me? Tell me something new, man.
If you want to save Pete and Tina, SMS the number 14 to 188 1110. If you want to save Christian and Amy, SMS the number 9. Alternatively, you can vote via our website. After the break, Pete exposes his knowledge of architecture.
They can go like that, or they can go like that.
And the inaugural hothouse wheelbarrow derby.
Rules are?
There are no rules.
Pete and Tina want doors on their media room to keep the noise in when they're playing home movies.
To make the room intimate, we wanted the tinted bifold doors to keep the sound in the room, because it's a media room or it's a theatre room, or basically I got it to be a theatre room, okay? And because it's soundproofing, you need to keep the sound in this room.
The doors weren't in the original design. To add them, he'll need the group's approval to spend money.
We'll see what happens. That's
We're going to do our research first and then take it to them.
I've already done the research, right?
On the cost of the doors and the doors, what sort of doors, what colour doors.
Well, I want tinted glass bifold doors that stack up beautifully in the corner there, and then you can pull them across. They can go like that, or they can go like that.
So Pete and Tina wait for a quiet moment and put it to Les.
I reckon bifolds will be the way to go. But I'm going to get you to sort it out with Corinthian, because I just about used up all my favours there on doors, and so I'll get you to give them a call.
Yeah. Hey, Pete from Corinthian, how you doing, mate? Not too bad. Listen, this is Pete and Tina from the hothouse. We're just wanting to know how you can go about getting some doors made for the media room.
Pete and Tina will have to wait a few days before taking their plans to the group. Maybe that's a good thing.
doors on the media room. Haven't heard any whispers about that one. I actually don't think it's necessary.
Meanwhile, the colour of the external house render is in the headlines again.
I find the exterior to be awful. It reminds me of Undercoat. I still haven't told them that, but I thought it wasn't painted.
Last week, Jean-Pierre, the Melbourne-based interior designer, convinced the hothouse team to lose the grey render and go for something more lively.
No, we can see them up, and we can see they're nothing like what's there. They're much warmer, they're certainly not grey. I think the one in the middle is really great.
Now, a week later, the group is down to just 6 couples. 3 of the couples are happy to proceed with the new render colour, but the other 3 aren't convinced.
Aesthetically, the house just will be a mix match. You have a grey roof with a blue fascia, yellow walls and silver window frames. It doesn't sound very attractive to me.
However, Les feels that the building schedule no longer allows for bickering and indecision.
We can't afford any more time because we've got all the stuff to do outside. All the landscaping, we've got 2 pools to go in, there's all the decking to go on. So I need to have the outside of the house finished this week so I can get those guys to come in and do their job so we can finish it on time.
So Les gathers the couples together to lay down the law.
Righto guys, I'm here to talk about the render. There was a decision made the other day to change the colour. That's already been ordered, it's already been made, ready to go on tomorrow. That colour will be going on. I know that some of you guys aren't happy with it, but really, we've got the time ticking away. We've got so much to do outside. If you want to change the colour, You'll have to do it after the house is finished, all right?
Can't we just leave it as it is then, Les? Because it's 6 and 6 now, mate. It's even, so we're just getting, shafted, eh?
I can't leave it, Benny, as it is. As you've seen the cutting in around the edge, they've half painted that down the wall. So it's just a timeline, guys. I've run out and changing stuff.
Look, if the person who wins the house, if their worst problem is having to change the colour of the house, then it's not a bad problem to have.
It's not a huge problem later on.
Well, we were told it was though, mate. We were told that once the landscaping's up, it's going to be very difficult to change the render colour. And we went on Jean-Pierre's advice.
Right.
So we've got the landscaper saying to us, don't you put stones and stuff on the front of it and don't change this and don't change that. And Jean-Pierre doing the complete reverse. Now you've got an even vote.
Sorry, guys, but that's it.
So we've got a yellow house.
They can say what they like, but it was their decision, and Les is getting on with the job.
I'm not changing again next week, and then the week after, and the week after. Once I finish the house, then you can change it.
On the hothouse, the guys have learned to use all sorts of building gear, but there's one thing that's been invaluable.
Kelso carries a lot. It's strong.
Good suspension. This is a folded tray version.
It's blue all over. As you can see behind you, Kelso does carry a lot.
Brett's carrying a lot, and his Kelso wheelbarrow.
But which couple has been the best at wheelbarrowing? There's only one way to decide. So, before Smoko, a challenge.
Okay, guys. Rules are, there are no rules. There's a hose down there. You got to wheel your partner in the wheelbarrow completely across the hose. Then you swap positions, come back up the hill. First one past the dirt wins.
Calvin's organised the wheelbarrow race, and no one's noticed his secret weapon. He's riding in the new Kelso narrow barrow, lighter and narrower than the others. Perfect for tight situations.
We've got a scoop here for a fast exit at the end. We built that in. We're going to swerve a bit and put Amy and Christian into the dirt. And we'll probably put something in Ben's wheel there. That's our plan. Take your marks. Get set. Go.
Me, mate.
Coming up, what's it like for the hothouse's only gay couple?
Well, hey, it's pretty impossible. It'd be worldwide news, mate, if one of them two fell pregnant.
And what do the bribey locals think? Every day, fans gather outside the hothouse to catch a glimpse of the contestants.
You'll be there at the end, mate, don't worry.
And when it comes to voting to save their favourites, well, some go to any lengths.
I vote every night, probably 20 or 30 times a week.
3 or 4 times a week, yes. Whenever something chunky happens, like I said, get on a mobile, start puffing away.
So far on the show, the public votes have saved Pete and Tina every week for the last month, making them at this stage the people's favourites.
Had it hard, so I think they deserve to win it, every bit of it.
So who do Pete and Tina fear most from within the hothouse? It's these guys, Brett and Jeff. They're dominant, passionate, and not afraid to speak their minds.
If we've been chosen as a token gay couple, I'm out of here. No, we can't do that.
Until this week, when both Pete and Tina voted for Brett, he hadn't received a single elimination vote, which he attributed to his winning personality.
Why do you think no one's voted for you before?
Because I've been myself, because I've been real, I've been genuine and honest and upfront.
But Nat and James, who were eliminated 2 nights ago, have a different theory.
Any couple in there would love to go to the final 2 with Brett and Jeff.
Simply because that they're a gay couple.
It's a bad thing to say, but it's because they're a gay couple, and I'm sure everyone in there would think that Australia's not going to give a $2 million house to a gay couple.
So we put Nat and James' theory to the boys, but they disagreed.
Why would they choose them over us? I mean, we're still 2 people together in a relationship, and they're still 2 people together in a relationship.
You don't turn around and call Amy and Christian the Islanders, or, Pete and Tina the Ferals, We yes, we are slightly different, okay, but the way that we attack life is very similar to everybody else, so you wouldn't really, it's not like we've got an extra head.
But Brett and Jeff's most outspoken enemies, Pete and Tina, actually admitted the gay couple was their biggest threat.
We wanted to go up with them this week, just to see how strong we really were. It didn't happen. You know, Amy and Christian are on the firing block, and I feel a bit horrible about that, but, you know...
I don't feel horrible about it, man, because eventually we're going to get rid of them all.
Yeah, I know, but I would have rather got rid of some other couples first.
The thing is, like, we wanted to go after the hard couples first, make the rest of them basically an easy run.
So we decided to test James and Nat's theory on the public itself and found that some agreed Australia wouldn't vote the House to a gay couple.
Probably not.
I don't think the Australian public probably are quite that accepting of gay couples. We're still pretty conventional sort of society, so I think they'd want to see a husband and wife in the real sense win a house.
But just as many thought the boys could win.
I do think there's a lot of Australians who will vote for them.
I gave the other two not, Pete and Tina.
And I brought me very accepting of a couple like Brett and Jeff.
Last week they combated assumptions that they would never bring their own children into the hothouse.
The biggest thing that you could give to a child is love and affection, and why not allow that to be from two men and maybe a female, you know?
Now there is a lot of same-sex couples who do have kids now.
I would absolutely adore having my own child.
Well, hey, it's pretty impossible. It would be worldwide news, mate, if one of them two fell pregnant.
We couldn't care less if we had to foster or adopt or whatever, you know, or have the option of actually having eggs donated or whatever, you know. There's various ways of doing it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I don't see a problem with it.
It's great for a kid to have two dads and a mum. I think that's sensational. You know, the more the merrier.
I don't really think that two guys should, have a baby. I just don't think it's right. I don't think it ever will be right.
I just think that it's wrong and that it's not fair to the children. As long as they're a good parent, that's all that's important.
You know, what describes a family? I mean, a family is basically whatever you want it to be. It could be, two men, two women, one person, a dog, a cat. I mean, it's anything you want.
Next, the intriguing Heather, up close and personal.
That's just the way it is.
And the lads taste the winner's lifestyle. Finished for the day, and the group's quiet one, Heather, reveals a passion for sculpture.
It's really good exercise because you're working with negative space. When you're building most artworks, you start from nothing and create something. This way you start from something and you take it away. Because the house is going to be a family home, there's lots of people who have children or who want to have children. I'm just going to do like a pregnant woman, just as a sign of fertility for the house.
Heather's creations will be part of the hothouse landscape plans, due to start in the next few days. Heather normally lives in a flat in Bondi, Sydney, so her caravan has taken some getting used to.
Well, this is where we live, and where we have been living for 7 weeks now, I think. So I'll give you the little tour. In here, we have the bathroom, which is the shower and the toilet all together. So to have a shower, you just swivel the toilet seat around and rotate. So it's very compact. Sink, our bed, and this is probably where we spend most of our time. We've had lots of friends over for dinner and cooked up lots of yummy meals. Oh, this little guy, he's from the surf club at Bondi. He's just one of the boys.
And in Heather's kitchen, she reveals something slightly unusual about herself.
Okay, little confession. I do have a habit of having all the labels around to the front, and it's a standing joke around here that they can always tell when I've stacked the fridge and cleaned the cupboards because everything's in its place. I'm not really over the top about it, it's just the way I like things to be done.
But how does Calvin cope with Heather's fastidiousness?
He's very routine, so he likes to do the same thing in the same order every day. So being here has been a bit of a challenge for him in that respect, because every day we don't know what's going on from moment to moment, let alone from morning to afternoon. I don't think he's got any any other finicky little habits. We have different toothpaste tubes because we squeeze differently. That's just the way it is.
As dusk arrives, Simon and Calvin, the only contestants with boat licences, decide to take Christian for a spin in the hothouse Haynes signature.
Alright guys, well, they asked us to clean it, so I thought we'd take it out and get it really dirty.
That's a fair deal.
That was a fair deal. You ready? You ready?
It's a 600 BR with a 200 horsepower Suzuki, and when these boys are driving, it's only got 2 speeds.
Let's go!
And if you're wondering how much that smile is worth, it's part of the Hothouse $2 million prize package.
Give her a clean and get back. I think we've just cleaned the bottom of the boat. Just quietly, you're probably right.
She's done. Let's go.
There's no barnacles on this baby.
This is the way you'd come home if you won the house.
It's been a great afternoon, and they dance around the fact that there'll only be one winner.
Well, thanks for letting me clean the boat. Al, anytime. No worries, mate. When I win it, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, right. Dream on, Carl.
Tomorrow night on The Hothouse, some heartbreaking news from the outside for Brett and Jeff.
We've had to close the gym on 350 odd kids.
Will they risk financial ruin to stay in the hothouse?
That actually hurts more than having to close the door.
And a night in with Pete, dressed in drag?
I'm an ugly tranny, man. Does anybody want a date?
If you want to save Pete and Tina, SMS the number 14 to 188 1110. If you want to save Christian and Amy, SMS the number 9. Alternatively, you can vote via our website.